people to flee the country. Over 250,000 Sudanese have fled to Egypt, according to figures presented by Minister of Foreign Affairs Sameh Shukri.
And to shed more light on the issue, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Dr. Magdy Adly, Senior Manager in Hospital Management, Quality Control Management, to shed light on the significance and the goals of the second edition of the Africa Health Exhibition Conference, the ExCon. Good afternoon to you, Dr. Adly.
Good afternoon. My respects to you and to our dear viewers and dear audience.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, what is the significance of the second edition of the African Health Exhibition and Conference that was held at El Manara International Conference Center in Cairo on the 6th till the 9th of June?
Okay. Under extremely supervision and extremely interest from His Excellency Mr. President Al-Fattah Sisi,
yes,
who are usually interested with the file of health locally in Egypt and even internationally with the African continent. And let me first thank warmly the Unified Procurement, Supply and Medical Authority, which is the official sponsor of the conference indeed. And it's worth to mention that more than 90 countries worldwide and participators worldwide shared actively in that conference, which held from 6 to 9 of June, and more than 315 international speakers among 1,200
yes,
international speakers participate also. In addition, a lot of representative multinational companies concerning with healthcare
yes,
services shared worldwide had attended and shared in that conference and made a demonstration of their medical products in the front of His Excellency Mr. President himself.
yes.
And the main goal of African healthcare, African Health ExCon this year is come under the title Africa as a continental hub or continental health for health, innovation and trade. To make a focusing of African continent health problems,
Yes.
and main challenge of the continent in the field of health care services mainly.
Yes.
These also mainly in these currently fired events which full of wars like Russian-Ukrainian wars or recently Sudanese war. And what we see of the number of refugees, and to find a way and the chance of international stakeholders and partners and medical health care developers to meet face to face with the African continent for providing African continent with a recent global technology of medical health.
Yes.
Either medical health training and learning and continuated medical studies, or providing medical supplies itself, like medical devices, dental devices, laboratory devices, medical needs. This step can't be happened without a comprehensive presidential vision, like what Mr. President did. And by the way, Mr. President insists to keep that international conference annually, not occasionally.
Yes.
Because the medical problem of Africa continent is a lot. And we have, we can even said what Mr. or Dr. Gian Katia, which is the General Director of African Health CDC, who eliminated the fragility and failure of international cooperation system when the world collectively faced with a common threat such as COVID-19, and he revealed that after 3 years of dealing with these global health challenge, which is COVID-19, COVID-19 has demonstrated that Africa faces uncertain future where anticipation of preparedness and response, as well as resilience to major shocks, must become the core of collaboration and coordination. Also, he adds that Africa has been let down by multilateral system, is not anew with COVID-19 vaccination, but also time and time again we have seen inequitable access with therapeutics and diagnostics. We can't afford to continuously see Africa being left behind or at the back of a queue of life-saving medical counter-measures.
Yes. What was the overall objectives of the second Africa Health ExCon, and did it achieve its goal from your point of view, Dr. Adly?
You mean the main goal of African Health ExCon, or
yes?
Or yes. The main goal of African Health ExCon, as I told you, is two main axes, as I told you. First act is the that training and medical training and teaching.
Yes.
The other axis is to make a chance with the international stakeholders and international companies for providing Africa with its needs of medical devices and recently developed medical devices, because Africa needs a lot, as I told you, and facing a lot of problems of healthcare system.
Yes, indeed.
Also, the other main goal was to transfer the technology of manufacturing of raw materials, even of medicine, and transfer technology of manufacturing some kind of important items of medicine like human albumin and blood derivatives, and some types of chemotherapy medication, which actually consume a lot of hard currency in Egypt and, of course, in other African continents.
Yes. Sir, also the second edition was held under the theme Placing Africa as a Continental Hub for Health Innovation and Trade. What, from your point of view, are the measures needed here to support the pharmaceutical industry and the health industry in the African continent?
As I told you, even the direct manager of African CDC said that we're supposed to transfer or to decrease the import of medication from outside, and we're supposed to localize the manufacturing of health or medication in African continent, and Egypt as a leadership in the continent is starting to do that, to transfer the medication technology or transfer the technology of manufacturing medication in Egypt on the ground, and so that will make coverage for the population, and the excess supposed to be exported to our brothers African countries. Like what happened in that COVID-19 pandemic, we transferred the technology of manufacturing vaccine here in Egypt, according to the global international guidelines. And we vaccinate almost like 80% of population, and the other vaccine exported to our brother African countries.
Yes, indeed. Dr. Magdy Adly, Senior Manager in Hospital Management, Quality Control Management. Thank you so much for your precious input. Always a pleasure to have you with us, Doctor. And Egypt and the United Nations World Food Programme, the WFP, has opened a humanitarian corridor between Aswan in Upper Egypt and Wadi Halfa in Sudan to address the urgent needs of the people affected by the ongoing conflict there. The first cross-border movement took place on the 16th of June, carrying 50 metric tons of essential food assistance.